Oh boy, excuse that. Had to get some stuff ready. Let's see what we got here. Hello, Valentisilocia Buster. Weirdest Megaton game. Is this the new SMT5 VDLC? Check this out, nice Porsche you got there. Persona 5 racing all night. And yeah, no, I had my mic. I just had to get some stuff ready. My freaking ringer went off when my mic was on, so I had to shut that off. And the reason I'm playing this game in windowed mode is because I had some not being able to play with any other programs issues trying to run it in borderless and full screen. So sadly, I will not be running this at the crispiest definition I can. Plus, my computer does not like this game much. It's hyperventilating like crazy. But I digress. Hello guys, welcome. I said I was going to do some racing games this month, and this is going to be one of them. I know Need for Speed Heat is fairly old. It came out, what, like at least 5 years ago? And Need for Speed, what was it? No, not No Limits. Which one was it? Need for Speed, not Unbound. That was it. Unbound. I know that game's all the fuzz, and that's the new one that's happened. But yeah, can't you make it just track the window though, like separate screen quality? That's not the issue. The main issue is actually. Let me see something really quick. Alt Enter. The main issue that I had was when I was recording it the first time. I had a problem where, okay, cool, that works. I could have just did the Alt Enter strategy. Look at me, and look at you. Thanks for the help. Hell, I always prefer Forza Horizon 4 instead of 5, even though it's older. Yeah, Horizon 4 was my first Forza Horizon game. My first Forza game. Okay, this is pretty quiet. I'm going to have to bump up the audio. I think I put it a bit too low. My first Forza game was Forza Horizon 2 on one of my friend's Xboxes. I absolutely fell in love with that game. Like, I was straight up just grinding for him online. Not online. During the, what's the term I'm looking for? Career mode, that was it. I was helping him grind on the career mode, get through some races. That game was extremely fun. And as somebody who would mostly stand with Gran Turismo, I absolutely loved that the game had a full damage model with damage physics. Like, you could actually break the parts and stuff. That was cool. I really liked that. And the bonuses you get for, like, upping the difficulty with stuff like that. Oh my god. Take my money. But sadly, I was a PlayStation boy, so none of that for me. And I guess I should probably layer on what mods I have. So, I already mentioned that I was using the Unite mod. I'm specifically using the story compatibility one, because there are some story bits that I haven't finished yet in the game. And I also have some... I have one mod that lets me earn money from night races, and another mod made by the same guy that actually removes the game's speed limiter. Case in point, I think if I'm right, the game speed limit caps at 240. Oh god! Do not ask how that happened, because I don't. Yeah, so I could do night races and still get paid. Sadly, I have to turn off the music because maybe outside of the Pursuit music, I think it's all copyrighted. Except for the title music, which that's still played. But yeah, so let's see. Story compatibility, basic stats, Simcade handling, most of the Unite stuff in general. And then I have one that allows me to earn money at night, so I will be doing some night races. One that doesn't affect the prices of races when you win, so I will always be making the same amount of money from races. Oh yeah, I also have the special edition of the game when it first came out, so I think if I'm right, I have a permanent 10% boost to all of my earnings. Which, yeah, that's pretty nice. One of my friends, I was racing with him, and even if I won second and he beat me, I would still wind up with more money than him. I think I'd have to finish third or fourth to have less. And I figured I'd just chill with this for a little bit, because I want an excuse to play this on stream, and I want to excuse to play this on stream, hang out with you guys for a bit, look like a moron driving, and make my dad all nice and giddy when I show him driving some of his favorite cars. Like, I haven't bought any of them yet. I know I have the money for it. I've got several million in the bank. But I just want to give a warm-up, show what I'm up to. But yeah, Forza Horizon 2 was my first. No, regular Forza Motorsport 2 was my first. Then I bought Horizon 4. And then I did drop out of Horizon 4 for a while until their service ended. And then, yeah, I never picked up Horizon 5. People give Horizon 4 a lot of crap. The beautiful weather system that Horizon 4 has, that was incredible. I don't think another racing game has done that. I mean, yeah, there are racing games that had that have had snow in them and dynamic weather, like Project Cars and Gran Turismo 5. But I don't think any other game has just had the weather just so seamlessly change the map. Like, there's basically 4 presets for the whole map. Well, technically 3, wet, dry, and snow. But that's a crazy amount of effort. And I'm sorry if I'm not looking at chat. I meant to actually check the chat before I started the race, and I think I forgot to change the latency to low instead of normal, so excuse me if all of my responses are extremely delayed. I'll need to fix that for the Monster Hunter stream, because those ones I didn't just copy the settings of my S&T stuff, so yeah, kinda got into a habit and forgot to fix it. But don't worry, I will fix that for the Monster Hunter stream, which I will be doing that separate. This and Monster Hunter will be separate, because I'm gonna need some time to boot up Monster Hunter. It does take a while, and some time to go eat something, because I don't know how long I'm gonna play Monster Hunter. Oh man, I'm actually really looking forward to it too. Heck, I was looking forward to playing this. Like, yesterday I wanted to get on it, do some grinding, maybe do some of the black market stuff for the McLaren F1, but I was like, no, I can just do that online live tomorrow. And also, I guess since I'm talking about stuff like that, I think I'm gonna take a break next week. I know I still have to do some recording for the Mandrake video, and then I need to not fly off the road. And I've got a whole bunch of scripts for a bunch of demons, and nothing recorded, and some of them aren't even researched. Plus, once I'm done with one of them, I'm gonna do like a little special where I do a demon you can only get via modding. But I also need to go back to recording all the cutscenes for SMT5 so I can eventually do a review of the game, because I want to have that out at least by the game's 1-year anniversary. And yeah, I just want to take a break. I've had a really rough week this week. Like, I'm talking, I literally had to work 7 days this week. Like, the way the schedule was, well, scheduled, I had 7 work days in a row. And to put it lightly, I've basically had no time to chill since I had overtime for a couple of days. Which meant that I didn't have much time to work on any of my projects outside of what I do during my lunch breaks. Oh boy. And for anybody who hasn't played Need for Speed Heat, from what I remember hearing, the 911 RSR is one of, if not the most broken vehicle in the game. It is extremely quick and nimble. And yeah, that's pretty much the case with the Unite mod, but because I got another engine swap option for the Unite mod, I've actually found a way to get this thing to essentially go Boku fast. And all I had to do was swap it with a 350Z motor. Which, yeah, that's fair and balanced. But then again, balance is not EA's middle name. Rose driving a car is flying a plane! Sadly for Xbox fans, being a PlayStation fanboy doesn't matter. Don't text and drive. Try not to. Always like the vibe of FH4. British is always my favorite city to look at. Yeah, Britain is pretty cool from an aesthetic level. Let's follow the law. Doing a review after 1,000 hours. Just like God intended. Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, I pretty much know the game back, front, and center. What's another pretty fast race I can do? Could switch to a different car with that. 330, yeah, right. You know, it says 330, it pays a bunch. Like, I figure in terms of SMT5, like, I know the game pretty much back front and center at the most part. Because, like, even though I spend most of my time in Godborn, I played through the game 6 times to get all the endings. And summon all the demons. Like, I figure I owe it to myself to do that. Plus, I mentioned this on Smiley's stream, I also plan on doing a Smasher Pass for the demons. And I'm gonna have to limit that to 18 plus whenever I live stream it, because most of these Smasher Passes are like, Dagda looks pretty nice. Smash. Oh, Slime is just a grotesque blob. Pass. Oh, no. I'm not gonna be doing something that subtle or PC. I'm gonna be the greasiest, no-lifing otaku weeaboo you can ever think of during that. Because I want... Basically, I'm just gonna be some greasy, disgusting pig talking about it, and I can't exactly just have the public acknowledge that, so I have to limit it to adults only, because I will be getting fairly vulgar. Have you played any of the Dirt series? Finished Dirt 3 or Dirt 4, but never finished Rally because you know why. Yeah, I heard Rally was basically just real-life rally racing, but in video game form. But rally racing was not always my forte. I never really checked out the Dirt series because I was always more of a GT fan, track stuff and whatnot. But when I say GT fan, I should more specify, say, Endurance specifically. Like, that's probably my favorite racing series, Endurance. Like, I love GT3, don't get me wrong, GT3 is probably second place, but Endurance racing is something I really, really like. And Project Cars solidified that. That was my... Like, when Project Cars 2 came out and they allowed multi-class racing, Endurance racing was my absolute favorite. Like, I liked playing as, like, either the middle tier LMP2s, I think they were default, or the GTEs. Like, I always liked trying to manage faster cars going around me. I never really played the prototypes, but it was also fun trying to negotiate traffic when you're the one going faster and need to get by. Like, endurance racing can be super intense. Or just multi-class in general. Jesus Christ, stay in the road. And then, of course, I also grew up with the Need for Speed. I never played the Shift games, but I did play Pro Street for a little bit, and Pro Street, yeah, I never got into it as a kid. Probably doesn't help that I had the... What was that version? The Nintendo DS version? But when I played the PC version, I understood why people didn't like it after learning a bit about it. And then I also understand why people say we had something great and we called it garbage. Like, Pro Street was not what people wanted after Carbon or Most Wanted solidified street racing to the public. But Pro Street had a lot of love in it. Like, it was basically a Simcade racing experience compared to the arcade stuff of Underground 1, 2, Most Wanted, and Carbon. And then we got Need for Speed Undercover, which was absolutely awful. I played it. I don't think I've ever had so much trouble driving a car in a racing game ever. And I played Need for Speed 4 High Stakes on the PC, which I actually do have 4 High Stakes on both PC and PlayStation. The PC version is really fun with mods, and the PlayStation version, absolute peak. I think if I remember correctly, I think that version specifically was either the first racing game ever to include mechanical damage, or just the first console racing game to include mechanical damage. Cause, yeah, like, apparently mechanical damage just didn't exist in the first 3 Need for Speeds. Hell, cosmetic damage wasn't a thing until Need for Speed 4. And also, I think that's one of my favorite Need for Speed games, just based on nostalgia alone. Like, don't get me wrong, my favorite is Hot Pursuit 2, the Black Box Edition specifically. That's peak arcade Need for Speed. No Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010 Counter-Strike ripoff. can ever match that. And I love Hot Pursuit 2010. I played that game before school. I played that game right after school. I played it right before I went to bed. If I had a channel 15 years ago, I could have easily just made content off of that game alone. That's how much I played it. Oh my god, those ambient thunder sounds. Ooh, man. I'm probably gonna play that at some point. And then another game I plan on doing for the month is Gran Turismo 5. Because I know what you might be asking. Gran Turismo 5, you know 7 exists, right? 1, don't have a PS5. 2, Gran Turismo 6 is cool and all, but Gran Turismo 5 might secretly also be my most favorite racing game of all time. After the Master Mod did something so amazing. It took the secret menu, which allowed you to choose what cars you race against in arcade mode, and expanded it to not just include the premium cars, but also the standard cars. Meaning all 1001 cars. Not only can you drive all of them without paying a dime, you can also race against all of them, and that allows for some crazy racing combos that the game just straight up never does to you. Maybe in online events it did, but never outside of that. And oh man, I know I have some videos on the channel with me racing against the AI, but oh man, I really like that. That's the one feature I always wanted in a racing game, the ability to just pick the grid, pick my car, and go. And somehow, for some reason, literally every game I've ever played ever that involves racing never has that feature. The closest thing I got to it was Need for Speed High Stakes, where in one-on-one matches, you could choose your opponent's car. And that's the closest I ever got. You never got the opportunity to, okay, that's a solid object, to just pick the whole grid. Alright, switch cars. Let's see what we got here. Yo, hello El Crub, and hello Vinicius Calife. I hope you two are doing spectacular today. No, where's that Subaru? Yeah, I got a few cars. I've mostly been playing around with stuff since I hadn't completed the story, like I said. Okay, let me check the chat. God dang it, I reset it. Let's see. I'm trying to play, I already read that. Literally 1984. I never tried any of the Gran Turismo games. Gran Turismo 2, I love that one to death. Gran Turismo 4 is also what I love to death. Never played 3. 1 is cool. 5 was meh until I got to the secret menu, and 6 was cool until I discovered 5's secret menu, especially when they lowered the prices in 6. I like that they did that. Not a Assetto Corsa. I've seen the mods for that, but I've sadly never touched it. I played Competizione for a bit, because, again, I like GT racing, but I never touched that for a while. I might have to get back into that. I find Gran Turismo kind of boring. The game has no sense of speed, and license tests keep me away from really playing the games. I get that. Like, the license tests are bullcrap. Gran Turismo 4 gives you a way to skip it, but yeah. Oh, and sense of speed, man, it's called just go 300 miles an hour. It's kind of easy. I'm kidding, but I digress. Have you heard Pro Street was good? Yeah, Pro Street's really good. My first Need for Speed was Hot Pursuit 3 on the PS1. Oh, man. Like, I've heard, when I was doing some research for Need for Speed 4, apparently a lot of people do not like the... Did they all fly off the track? Apparently a lot of people do not like Need for Speed 4 on PC specifically because it copies a lot of stuff from Need for Speed 3. Some people complain that the police are also too weak in high stakes on PC. And then also, I'm saying a lot, my goodness. Need for Speed High Stakes on PC has all the racetracks from Need for Speed 3. like, just built in. It's not even DLC or an expansion. But there was no DLC yet. It's not even an expansion pack. It was just baked onto the disc. Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa. Does that dude have the frickin' M3 GTR's engine? Oh my god. Freaking Subaru with an M3 GTR engine. Now that's what I call a quality engine swap. But yeah, I haven't played 3. I've only played 4, and I really do like 4. Like, I'm going to probably do that for my April shenanigans, because I got some ideas for April. I've already said that I was doing racing games this month for my father's birthday. Well, I think for next month, coincidentally, is my birthday. Who would have thought? The world works in mysterious ways. I'm going to do some... I'm just going to play my favorite games of all time. Which is kind of sad that Chrono Trigger turned 30 this month. Because Chrono Trigger is on my list of favorite games ever made. Like, I remember playing it in high school because one of my friends recommended it because I had an emulator. And, oh man, never in my life did I think I would ever need a Toriyama Final Fantasy crossover. But I didn't even know Toriyama worked on the artwork until after some research. Not recently, of course, but yeah. The race is just way too long to be fun. Also, love the vibes and the music. The music's the best part of Gran Turismo, honestly. And I totally get what you mean by the races take you too long. Like, I can understand races that are like 5-10 laps when you've got extremely fast cars. But when you've only got, say... I'm on fast travel here. When you're driving a crap box, you don't need to do a whole lap around the Nürburgring. Give Me Rivals was good, IMO. I would have considered it as underrated. The hella aggressive police is the reason why the game is fun. Oh, man. Rivals was so good. Like, once that game came out, I basically dropped Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And I used to bully people a lot of the time with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, with Rivals. Like, I remember one time, some dude was doing a mission as a racer in a stolen Koenigsegg police interceptor, and I was in the Veyron Super Sport interceptor as a cop. And I think we went back and forth for like 30 minutes as he kept looping the repair station, and I eventually took him out. I think I cost him well over 1 million bounty or speed points, whereas I had only got 20,000 for taking him out. Switch cars. I said hello to you too. I'm doing well. Oh, I'm just fine. Have I played Ridge Racer? I've only played Ridge Racer 4. I heard the series was good, and people say 4 is the best, so I checked it out. I didn't really get into it. Ridge Racer's really fun. 4 had awesome music. I will agree with you on that. I mean, Need for Speed 3... I meant Hot Pursuit 3, not Gran Turismo. Oh, okay. I was talking about how the races at Hot Pursuit 3 are really long. Yeah, a lot of them are really long, and it's kind of crazy how fun that game... Like, if you're playing with if you're racing against cops, or you're playing online with other players, against cops, of course, Hot Pursuit 3 is extremely fun. I've already explained my 2 cents on that. Oh man, this thing has too much power. And we'll see if I was gonna say crap. Oh yeah, right. I do also remember on the original Hot Pursuit, because I had a copy of that on PC. That one I had a mod that let me pick any car I wanted for any event, regardless of class restrictions. And while it was funny using a Bugatti to catch the RX-8 for the very first police mission, it was also super interesting using, say, a 370Z Nissan to run away from Koenigsegg police cars. That was insanely fun. Because, while, yeah, I technically didn't win the event because I didn't make the time, the challenge was surviving because the cops could reach my horsepower and top speed. Well, okay, not really, but still. Did I miss a checkpoint? Yes, I did. This track is pretty dark. I'm not gonna question how that X6M didn't destroy me. And somehow I get a feeling I'm probably gonna catch up with first. And for the record, I'm playing this on not normal, hard, and I don't have any mods that fix boomerang, and rubber banding. And also, I keep hearing that people say Gran Turismo 3 is really fun. I don't see it. Maybe it's because I played Gran Turismo 1 and 2 and 4. And while 1 had less cars than 2 and 4, and 2 and 4 have more cars than 3, I don't see the point. I think Gran Turismo 3 was just supposed to be a tech demo, or it could just be nostalgia. Because when I was replaying Gran Turismo 4 with the Spec 2 mod, while I was having a lot of fun with it, I did get really upset at some of the license tests, specifically one where I had to drive a rally car in the snow. I think it was a Lancia Delta. And oh man, that pissed me off so much. Like, I think for that license event, the video that I uploaded on my other channel, it's dead, by the way, don't bother checking it out. Well, I missed the checkpoint and still beat him. I was about to say this is what happens when I talk. Misses checkpoint, still wins. Yeah, no. Those license tests are bullcrap. It's like some people could just gold them with no problem. And then me, I struggle with it. But since I've already mentioned, I'm going to be playing a bunch of different games for my birth month. I was also going to try and get out of here. I was going to try and do Need for Speed 4 High Stakes on console, because that's the one I'm referring to specifically for my favorite, and Chrono Trigger. Because Need for Speed High Stakes, I remember watching Kuru KS. I was watching his edited VOD of him playing the game, and it pissed me off. He was complaining that the game was too grindy. It was the only time I ever grinded in the game was so I could get some cars, so I could sell them with the memory card, the 2 memory card trick, so I could get 1 copy of every car in the game. I never once had to grind playing that game. And it was probably mostly because he didn't know how to do it. He didn't know you're supposed to mix and match the special events, buy certain cars for certain things. Like, the very first event. Both the first racing event and the first special event. The first special event will only let you in if you drive Need for Speed. If you drive BMW Z3s. And your opponents are crashing. What the hell is going on? And you can only get in if you have a BMW Z3, but all of the opponents will be driving fully upgraded Z3s. And for the first event, the unironic best choice of car is the Mercedes SLK 230. Which I didn't know this, but if you're in bumper cam, you can actually hear the supercharger whine from the SLK 230, which I didn't know it was supercharged until I found out that any Mercedes that has Compressor with a K badged on it, it's supercharged for 1. And for 2, I drove an SLK 230 for a test drive because I was in the market for a sports car, and when the owner told me that the engine was supercharged, I'm like, what the hell? And when I drove it, like, I felt the kick at low RPM. It was crazy, and it only revs up to, like, I think 5,000 or 5,500. But you don't need 6,000 RPM. That thing just goes on a 4-cylinder, no less. And again, that's the best car because essentially you'll win, but if you buy that car, then you have to buy a Z3 or, grind the money to get a Camaro or Firebird so you could do the next event. Like, it's stupid in that regard, yes, but if you win and your repair bills aren't too high because mechanical damage is turned on and reset every race, then you should have no problem. You get, like, I think 15 or 20,000 for winning, including or no, minus how much you get for finishing the race. And because the game devs were funny, if you lose a race in 6th place, they'll still give you a payout, but only if you finish. If you DNF, they don't give you anything. There's also a bonus if you complete the race without taking any damage. Outside of the fact that you know, don't pay repair cost, you also get a little bit of bonus. I just wiped him out. And then crashed. How old are you, if you don't mind sharing? 20s. I am 27, turning 28 next month. Yeah, I'm not retrying this event. I decimated them, my goodness. Okay, looks like the game and the footage aren't too far behind. Go here, fast travel here. I'll switch back to the Subaru, and then that's going to be the last race. Then I'm going to go buy something. Yeah, and funny enough, my mom's birthday is not in May, sadly. That would have been funny if it was. But for that, I'm going to be probably just doing some arcade games. Stuff that I know she's played. Like, I want to do a full playthrough of Space Invaders for the PlayStation 1, because I can't get the PC version to work, at least at a fluid frame rate anymore, since my old system doesn't handle any recording software, modern recording software at least. I said I was gonna switch, God. You know what, screw it, last race anyway. But, yeah, I'm probably gonna be doing stuff like Space Invaders, Gradius, Contra, maybe a fishing game or two, because she was really into fishing games, along with my uncle, who also introduced me to racing games and the Grand Theft Auto series. Oh, and Just Cause. If it weren't for him, I would have never understood the game Just Cause. And I had learned about that before Just Cause 2 was a thing, when JC1 was just considered a GTA clone. Also, Just Cause 1 on PC is way easier than Just Cause 2. Not Just Cause 2, Just Cause 1 on PC is easier than Just Cause 1 on PS2. For the sole reason that A, you know, aiming on a mouse and keyboard is extremely fluid, and 2, oh yeah, right, the frame rate is a steady 60 as opposed to frickin' 20. Like, missions that took me forever, even with cheats in the PS2 release, I beat in like 1 or 2 tries. Now, I wouldn't consider that or Just Cause 2 my personal favorite. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Actually, I probably would, but it wouldn't make the top 5. Oy! Jesus. And I still don't see them on the minimap. But I guess if I had to name off my favorite games, it would be Super Mario Bros. 3, the All-Stars remake, Chrono Trigger, this is in no particular order by the way, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, maybe I can throw Skyrim on that list, and then Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I'm debating on the Skyrim one, however, because even though the most viewed video on my channel was Skyrim, and I have no idea where those 7,000 views came from, at the same time, it would take me a really long time to mod the game again. Because there's a few specific mods that I want to run, both cosmetic and gameplay changing, and then there's some other mods that I might want to check out. And one thing that I learned from my recent, aka like 2 years ago playthrough of Skyrim, if you mod the game before you start playing, magically the game works better. Like, I think I could record the amount of crashes I had on a single hand, and by Skyrim standards, that's not a lot of crashes. And I could probably only use one hand to record the amount of bugs I ran into as well, which by Skyrim standards is pretty low. And it's not like I played the game for a few hours, but I think I clocked another 100 hours onto that save. And I was playing a rogue mage. basically a magic user that does specialize in the sneak archer strat and the art of picking pockets. Which I did have a mod that increased the maximum pickpocket chance to 100%. It didn't fix it at 100 in order to change the math. It just allowed it to go up to 100, so in some cases I could get away with stealing something without getting caught ever. But it was still difficult taking risks to try and steal certain things. Because I was still a squishy mage. I might have been able to blow up entire cities, but a couple arrows to the knee literally could debilitate me. And then I had a mod that made the AI intelligent. In fact, it was so intelligent that one of my friends straight up couldn't play the game on novice difficulty because the AI kept using these techniques like suppressing fire and flanking and holding up their shields when they're not attacking. You know, smart AI. And even though I was level 80 by the time I installed that, there was still a noticeable spike in the game's difficulty. Oh boy, this thing is fast. Really makes me mad how really makes me mad how EA did at the C6 or other cars in the Most Wanted. One, hello Kronos, and two, which Most Wanted are you talking about? Because I know the C6 Corvette was in 2005 Most Wanted. And wasn't the ZR1 in 2012's Most Wanted? Webster's vet would be nice. It would be nice to see that again. The fact he was... Oh, I think... Are you talking about the C6 base, not the Z06 or ZR1? I'm surprised no Megaton made it on that list. Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised. Megaton is something I got into recently. And in all honesty, while I can safely say that SMT1 might be overtaking SMT2 as my favorite, since one of them I've had the urge to replay, and the other one I've had the urge to not touch ever again. Yeah, Megaton's just not something I would put up there with my favorites of all time. Because all those games have either, like, changed my perspective on gaming, changed me as a person, or something that I could just go back to every now and then and have fun. Like, Mario 3, I would probably debate is my favorite game of all time. And to anyone that says Mario World is the greatest Mario 2D game ever invented, one, Mario Wonder exists, so that's a new contender for the throne. And two, I disagree with you. Now, I've played Mario World, both the GBA remake and the original. So yeah, phenomenal game. Anybody who says that that's their favorite or that's the best Mario game ever made, I see where you're coming from. That game is exceptionally good. Is there no Fox Body Mustang in this game, is there? That or I passed it. No, I couldn't have passed it. Or all the cars in alphabetical order. Might all be in alphabetical order. Yeah, there it is, the Fox Body. I forgot they changed the order structure. Yeah. Yeah, 32,000 for a Fox Body in decent condition. Good luck. Like, Megaton's just something I didn't get into until my adult years, so I never had the time to form that kind of connection with it. This thing only revs up to, what is that, 5,500? No, 475. But it sounds amazing, it looks really nice. Also, didn't these things have 5.0 badges on them? At least every Fox Body I've seen has a 5.0 badge on it. Yeah, every V8 one at least. And I remember hearing something that apparently the 4-cylinder Fox Body was the one that had all the performance parts, whereas the 8-cylinder just had the motor. Okay, the brakes are garbage, my god. To think Mustangs went from looking kinda unique to just trying to mimic the Gen 1 Mustang. It's kinda crazy how times have changed. Well, now, what am I going to do with this thing? I could be funny and make it an off-road car, or I could be not funny and actually just make it fast. So that's a 5-liter. Well, I don't even need to swap the engine. I could get 1200 out of this alone. Is there one that could give me more? The Ferrari gives less somehow. Is that the new one? Or is it, no, I think that's the same one. No, that's the new one. That's the Coyote. It seems like it's the same output at same potential outputs, but this one has a higher base horsepower. The 2JZ. I forgot the Unite mod added the 2JZ despite it not actually being in any vehicle since Toyota doesn't exist in this game. Megaton changed me a lot as a person. My ideals, my views on religion and mythology. It's also a franchise that has taught me a lot, though I have been playing Megaton Sphere since I was a teen. Even if only recently I started to really play the games. Going off topic, have you ever played Metroid? Yes, actually. I've played Metroid... I played Metroid 3, Super Metroid. I've played a bit of Zero Mission, and I've played an insignificant amount of Fusion. I'm probably just going to stick with the stock engine, but I want to see what kind of options I got for this. That's the Viper engine. Yeah, Metroid is actually pretty fun. I never actually completed my run of Super Metroid. 3.8 liter. Oh, I know what this is. I never completed my run of Super Metroid because I got to the Ridley fight and then proceeded to suffer from skill issues. Like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, I just straight up had skill issues. So, yeah, that one I never actually beat. Which is a bit of a shame, because I really did have fun playing them. I honestly prefer the original NES game over Super Metroid. Yeah, from what I've seen between the original NES and its remake Zero Mission is way more linear, in my opinion. I mean, a little epilogue part where Samus gets the power suit embedded into her DNA. That was a pretty cool addition. It patched up some lore issues, but at the same time, the game's already over, please. God, I love these turbo sounds. Well, that one gives them nothing. These ones also don't give much. When the game says the supercharger does more. No, let me play with the rest of the parts first, see what happens. I could hear it revving faster, my goodness. Only other... I currently playing through Metroid Prime. I heard Metroid Prime was really good. I was thinking of getting my hands on the original, but then the remaster came out, yada yada yada. But, yeah, I heard Prime was good. I especially learned that the music is pretty baller from Smash Bros. Brawl. Wait, that's cool, and that doesn't do much. But it's slowly revving faster. Oh, there we go. Now it's revving like crazy. Now let's check forced induction, see what happens. Now that I have everything else kitted out. That's a 355. That's a 355. And that's a 356. And that's a 358. Seems like they don't get that much of a boost to acceleration, but I know the superchargers are more low-end boost. Produce a lot of power at high speeds, suffer at low speeds. Honestly, I think Centrifugal might be the better idea since it gives me the power instantly with no build-up. And I will be taking this... I got a bunch of them. And I will be taking this to night races so I could fight the cops. Just for fun. Have you heard of Horizon Chase? No, I have not. Oh yeah, I guess the only Metroid Prime game I've played was a demo cart for the original, for Metroid Prime Hunters First Hunt. And since I had Action Replay, I tried to break it, but it didn't work, because apparently, well, that was an extremely rare cart, and some kid told me and my other friend to, well, to one of our friends, he told us to go deliver it to the pawn shop to get some money out of it, and it was worth little. It's probably worth a fortune now, but I digress. I wonder what else have I done? What I played so many games I can't recall all of them. And Eco tires. EPAs. These are designed to perform at really a high speed to sustain torque at a horsepower better than standard tires. Semi slicks. No baby, full on track slicks. Wow, that sets it all the way to maximum. Max power, max speed, no acceleration. But a couple clutch upgrades could fix that. Horizon Chase is a retro racer based on those old racing games that are like Top Gear and Outrun. It's really great. Okay, is that a new indie game or... Oh, well, because I've obviously never heard of it. That says it reduces the acceleration. Interesting. And then, you know, I'm not gonna put an all-wheel drive diff on this thing yet. I want to see how bad it handles. It's like, I know I have to put an all-wheel drive diff on the Regera because I literally could not control that thing. But I want to see how bad it is on this. It's probably just as bad, but it's a little heavier, so maybe it won't go so horribly. Oh man, that's a lot of wheel spin. Honestly, yeah, it doesn't seem so bad. That sixth gear is a dead gear. Oh man, that is a dead gear, holy crap. You know, maybe it's probably the racing slicks, but this thing doesn't feel so bad to drive at high speeds with just a rear wheel drive. Okay, if I can get a clear patch of road. Caps at 250. What do you know? Yeah, this thing is still controllable. I'm genuinely surprised. I guess I'll give it a track diff, but... Wait, I did give it a track diff. But yeah, still 100% controllable without all-wheel drive. That's nice. No, so if I give it an all-wheel drive diff, then how will it fare? I get a feeling that, considering how nimble it was acting, it might just become... It might just start understeering. That or all that wheel spin I had will disappear, and it'll handle the same. I recently got a sequel, but I didn't like it. The original was way better. That's the case for a lot of things. Oh, that launch! Also, this... Oh my god, the Unite mod makes this game look so good. Like, I'm not running it at max settings because my computer really does not like that, but this game looks beautiful by default, and the Unite mod, all the vibrant colors that it adds, it's just so gorgeous. Like, my goodness. Why does it seem like the lights just flicker? Can't tell if that's a bug with my graphics, the mod, or the car model itself. Okay, now it tops out at 258. Okay, I am sold. But yeah, sometimes sequels don't usually turn out to be better than the rest. Like, I know Ghostbusters 1, great movie. Ghostbusters 2, oh wow, it's 10 all around. Not so great movie. It's not garbage, but it's not exactly good either, compared to the original. And then Just Cause is also an example of that too. Just Cause 1, in my opinion, had the best story missions. Just Cause 2 had the best overall, like for the game itself, is just the best overall quality of life and stuff. Just Cause 3, best gameplay, hands down, no discussions. But each Just Cause game took a bit out of the story. Just Cause 2 didn't have many story missions, and Just Cause 3, the story was lackluster. And then I haven't played Just Cause 4. But considering it's usually like 5 years between a Just Cause game, the fact 4 only came out 3 years after 3. Yeah, some people say 4 is not even that good compared to 3. I don't like those wide body flares. Honestly, that doesn't look too bad. Splitter's a bit tacky, though. Honestly, you know what? No. I'm just gonna paint this thing. Because funny enough, my parents actually did own a Blue Fox. I'm not sure what factory color it was. Well, what factory shade of blue it was. My parents did actually own a Blue Fox body before I was born. Like my mom learned how to drive stick from that, and she absolutely loved the thing. And I don't blame her. These things were really nice. But then one day, my dad sped through a stop sign, and he was speeding down a road that he had priority on, because the side road had a stop sign, and someone ran the stop sign and hit him. It hit him on the passenger side, thankfully, but yeah, no, that's how the car got wrecked, because the insurance wasn't going to cover the full cost of the repairs. And they just totaled it out, and they got a Honda Accord instead. Which, oh man, I also wish I still had that Honda. That one didn't get wrecked, sadly. Instead, I should have gone to a race at night. No, I'll do one race of the day to see how it fares, then I'll do a race at night. That one got stolen. And considering how cheap the car was, it was probably just simple break the window, use a screwdriver, and disappear. Yeah, thankfully we did have a secondary car. Did I click on the wrong thing? What? Oh crap, that's a drift trial. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's do a drift race. Now, in terms of drifting, I suck. Like, I say rally racing's not my thing, but at the very least, I understand how to do rally for the most part. I'm not good at it, but at least I understand but at least I understand how to deal with it. Drift racing, I could definitively say I am actually garbage at. Like, 100% legit garbage. We are not driving safely, my god. Just, they're throwing buckets. Hello, Keaton, how you doing? So, I actually did have to complete the drift story event, and I did use this car to do it. And it was kind of easy once I got used to it, but drifting is still not my thing. Like, I'd say Need for Speed Carbon is probably the one game I can say I'm good at drifting. And that game's drifting is, let's be fair, arcadey as hell and geared for you to succeed. Like, if you lose in a drift event in Need for Speed Carbon, either you are really bad at drifting, or it's that hard, or the mission you were doing is that hard! Which not even the challenge missions are that difficult. Like, I think gold, you have to get 250 on a closed course drift. That's nothing. And the car you get has enough speed to keep the bonus going. Did I really just tap the wall? Yeah. This will be the only drift mission I'm doing. They're not expect me to do this stuff at night when the cops are on my rear. Come on, slide, damn it! Still kind of ashamed that drag races and nighttime off-road racing are a thing. Granted, nighttime off-road sounds like a nightmare, and they have drift parts, why don't we use them? I need 500,000 and I am blessed. I am not even a fifth of the way there. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make this. But there's shame in quitting. Though I do know one thing, I don't play this game with it, but I know in Need for Speed Carbon and Most Wanted, I started playing those games, and Hot Pursuit and 4. I started playing those games with a manual transmission option, and oh my god, the game, like, in some games, driving with a manual transmission makes the game so ridiculously easy. Like at Need for Speed 4, and Hot Pursuit, I'm able to gear down, because, you know, blowing your engine's not a thing in those games. I'm able to gear down much more quicker than the car normally would, and be at the right RPM out of a corner, so I could speed off and not lose that much in corners. I don't think I would have that right. Basically, being in a stick makes the game easier to play. And mapping it to the left or right triggers, that also makes it pretty convenient. Well, like I said, I don't do every game with a mouse and keyboard with stick. This one I haven't tried it yet. I think I did stick for Payback, because some of those missions with the Unite mod were extremely difficult. Like, I'm straight up talking, I couldn't pass it with the auto transmission, so I had to put it on manual. And I went from not passing it to barely succeeding and failing a bunch, because I at least had the confidence to know that I could do it. Yeah, I'm not winning this one, but at least I got close. Now, I must have just been super lucky doing the last few drift challenges. Oh my goodness, come on, accelerate. Come on. God dang, it's so close. Ouch. Well, I could at least say I tried. And at least I know I didn't place too low, because I know in this game if you place too low in a race, your character will just straight up hide behind their car and hope nobody notices them. It's pretty funny, but it's also kind of depressing. Okay, so I'll do this next race in the Mustang, then I'll switch over to nighttime. Because I promised police chases, and gosh darn it, you can't have Need for Speed without police chases, except for that one Pro Street game that everybody agrees is pretty good. Well, nowadays at least. Change. Now, is the Mustang going to be in the back, or is it going to be somewhere up? There it is. Looks like it's still all in alphabetical order. No. Last I checked, M, B, and P are nowhere near each other. Sorry, late answer. Got dragged into help and doing good. Just rested after my 5 PlayStation. Well, how did SMT5 go for you, Ketone? Yeah, I'm actually not doing SMT5 this week. Mostly because, one, I got those couple of videos coming out, and two, I need to work on Mandrake, and don't worry, next week, Demon Expansion. You're not just going to release SMT1 Hero, Heroine, and Chaos Hero, and think I'm not going to cover that in Demon Expansion. But I already had everything planned out for this week, so I couldn't really do that. That's why I made those videos on it, or that video on it. Guy bought an Aston Martin Valkyrie. Wait, no, that's not a Valkyrie. That's a what? AMR? No, Vulcan. That's it. A Vulcan. He bought a Vulcan and is getting wrecked by one blue boy. And I can't lie, that 2016 NSX, absolutely violent. Like, I love the look at it. A lot of people give the NSX, not credit, they give it crap, the new one, but the new one makes the old one look like trash. I mean, not only is it an actual bona fide supercar, but from what I've heard, the hybrid motor is good for 50 miles. So if you run out of gas, you could still make it to a gas station. And that's what EVs should be used for, when you run out of gas. I'm kidding. EVs do have a point. Like electric forklifts, that's honestly a grand idea, because nobody wants to smell propane or petrol or diesel exhaust fumes while they're in a grocery store or while they're working in a warehouse. So having an electric forklift, that makes a lot of sense. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And then certain cars, like say tiny micro cars, being electric, I also agree with that too. They're small, they don't take up that much space, the batteries won't need to waste a bunch of energy moving them. Perfectly viable. My only issue with electric cars comes when they become full-size sedans and trucks. Like, why the hell does a truck, something that's supposed to be a utility vehicle, an electric car? Like, the battery itself's gotta be like half of the vehicle's weight, which would reduce its towing capacity and would reduce how much it could hold in its bed. Well, considering modern trucks, beds are less of an option and more of a you don't get one. Which, honestly, that's just stupid. And as someone, I did watch a YouTube video on it. I wish I remember the guy's name so I could shout him out. Basically, he did a whole video talking about how truck beds have gotten smaller over the years, whereas trucks have gotten bigger, less practical, and more expensive. Like, 20 years ago, you could buy a truck with a fairly big-sized bed for like $30,000 if you just needed it for work, and $50,000 if you wanted to roll around it all nice and whatnot. Today, that $50,000 is for a base model with no options, except the usual sales tax stuff. Why are they moving so slow? It looks like they're just cruising. Oh man. Come on. And I personally don't like EVs. Like where I live, an EV charger is about as common as a palm tree. If you find one, someone put it there. The gas stations don't have EV chargers, a lot of the parking lots don't have EV chargers, a lot of the apartments, including the newer ones, do not have EV chargers. In fact, I went on a small little road trip to small town USA. If that's a real city, I don't mean the actual city. And not a single person there was driving a hybrid or an EV. And there were no EV charging stations, and I think it took me another 100 miles. Okay, no, wrong number. Another 50 miles to find an EV charger, and I was back in town. Evie rant
Coffee
over.
machine's broken. There's a kettle if you want.
It was a good session. I speed ran through the second and third zone. Got the chaos ending and unlocked Belial. Alright, congratulations. You've officially unlocked the ability to do the strategize of TK. I guess I could lower the vehicle a bit. It's just a little too high for my taste. Oh my goodness. I'd say about like that. That's more my taste. And I forgot you can modify the exact sound. I'm not really gonna change, I just want to hear what it would sound like. It actually doesn't sound that bad. One of the less ear-piercing sounds I've had the disprivilege of hearing. Discard changes, quit out, and nighttime, here we come. Alright, 4 o'clock. I'm keeping track of the time, mostly because I said I need to get a Monster Hunter booting up, because I think it took me like 5 minutes just to get the game to show up on screen. And oh my god, I forgot how dark it gets. Okay, there we go. I forgot how dark it gets in this game. At least with the Unite mod. With the Unite mod, nighttime feels like genuine nighttime. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing. Because on one hand, it looks beautiful. On the other hand, it's too freaking dark. But you gotta admit, those lights look really good reflecting off the car. And keep in mind, I turned the reflections down to give my computer some breathing room, and the game still looks this beautiful. Okay, cool. Turning off the music turns off the music in the background. She's looking through the mirror like, what the hell? And I would explore some raps for this game, but after seeing the meetings of, World War II German pinwheel raps, and I actually found straight up hentai on there one time. No, I can't do that, I'm sorry. Oh shit! These guys are getting away. I hit him so hard, I took him out. Was this Burnout? Oh, right, that's another series that I've played. Burnout. I've seen Burnout 1 and 2, and honestly, they look really difficult compared to Burnout 3, which is probably the most difficult racing game I've ever played. And Burnout Revenge, I never really spent too much time with it. I did play through quite a bit of it on PCSX2 because I lost my original disc copy, but yeah. And by lost it, I mean the disc stopped being read in my PS2, but I was able to read it long enough on my PC to rip the disc image.
Alright everyone, the hunt is on. Go get him.
And Paradise? Paradise was cool. I didn't really play the PC version much. I didn't play the console version much either because I had skill issues. Paradise Remaster. Honestly, that's pretty nice that they actually decided to give the PC players the DLC, like with Hot Pursuit Remaster. I wonder if EA is going to keep doing that with their PS3 titles. They're just going to remaster all of them. Like, are we going to get a Need for Speed The Run remaster? Probably not. But if we get a Need for Speed Rivals remaster, bet your rear ends I will play that. I want to know how that didn't wreck him.
I have idled their vehicle. They outran me. They outran us all.
They outran us all. What all? It's just you.
Get out there and find that damn car.
Come on, he's almost here. Come on, he's almost here. When I was young, I used to be a huge car fanatic. I could list many car brands, and now I can slightly remember a car named Mitsubishi or something. I fell off. Yeah, honestly, as I got older, I just got more into it. Especially since I managed to achieve the dream everybody who plays racing games wants. To actually own a car in said racing game. But I won't get into too many details on that. But yeah, I can definitively say I have a car that's in a racing game. Okay, several racing games, but still, that's pretty cool, and it's kind of nice to see, you know, yourself being represented. It means I could totally roleplay me in a racing game if I wanted to. At least, once I get the money to afford said car. I think in my driver playthrough, I mentioned what car it was, but I never uploaded it. Because, well, it was on my second channel and nobody watched it. I might do a video on the Driver San Francisco one day, but that day is not going to be any day soon. And also, the other reason that I'm giving myself a break is not just to boot up Wilds, it's also so I can let my eyes rest, because, my god, this game, like, I don't sit too close to my monitor, because it's a giant TV, and I wear blue light glasses to further reduce the strain on my eyes, but I cannot play this game, especially not at night, at low settings, because I won't be able to see anything. With Wilds, I think I could just play it at a lower setting and still be fine, because with World, I could see perfectly fine at night. At my most comfortable bright setting.
Control suspect vehicle located.
And something else that I should mention about Heat, I remember, like, I didn't know this, but according to I Suck at Driving, like, that's really his username, he plays a lot of racing games, he said that this game, the police used to rubber band on you all the time, which I could agree, I remember that, but then I dropped the game for, I think, a couple years until the update cycle ended, and when I came back, like, the police were super easy to deal with, because they actually removed rubber banding from the police, or at least made it less prevalent.
I've located the subject.
Now, what are the high heat races? That's what I want to know. I want to do the high heat stuff, like heat level 3, if I could find it. It's way over there. Are you freaking kidding me? And heat level 5 is right next to it. Gotta love it. Guess I could do this race. It's not too far away. It'll take me right over there. What's up? Yo, I gotta go. Oh boy, Texas driving is bad. And I'm debating on this for this month. I might play BeamNG Drive. I might play BeamNG Drive. I own the game, and I do play it every now and then, just for fun, because I like crashing cars. Who would have thought? But I like doing it in an environment that doesn't hinder me with repair bills or, you know, felonies and insurance cost. Oh yeah, I hope you were doing alright today, Monogatari. Just chilling out, enjoying some good old modern Need for Speed. Also, the fire effects in the vanilla game are way too overdone. Like, way too overdone. With the Unite mod, the fire effects from the cars look fairly realistic, but in the base game, they are so overdone. Like, it's insane how much fire is coming out. You could practically use those exhaust as a weapon of war and commit literal war crimes. Like, I'm pretty sure if the cops wanted to, they could arrest you, and they could just use footage of them chasing you and say, this car is a war crime because it has an incendiary weapon attached to it. And honestly, yeah, that would be 100% true. Also, speaking of war crimes, off subject, since YouTube updated their free roster, for one, if anybody wants us to watch Terminator 1, go. It's free on YouTube if you have YouTube Premium. 2, I'm watching Saving Private Ryan because I never finished that movie. I actually saw it in school, believe it or not. And oh my god. I'm not finished with it yet, but that movie is so good. Tom Hanks does an excellent job as the sergeant, and I'm gonna say this, I felt some type of way watching Vin Diesel die. Because Vin Diesel, I forgot if he was a corporal or a private, but he went out to help a family save their daughter, like get her out of Dodge, and he got shot and killed by a sniper. Like, if you want to make a joke, and even though it's not funny in the movie, it's not taken as a joke in the movie, I sadly made it a joke for myself. Vin Diesel, family. World War II movie, no one cares, shot. And maybe it's because of the Fast and Furious, but it really did feel weird watching Vin Diesel actually die. You need your license taken away? Oh no. Man, this is a video game. Plus, I already lost my license. Some corrupt police officer took it away from me when he asked to see it. Then again, he's now dead, but I don't have a license anymore. So yeah, I'm driving without a license, baby. Yeehaw! Absolutely nothing happened. I stuck that landing perfectly. Not as perfectly as that Porsche flight, but hey. Now let's see how brutal this is going to be. I'm going to be fighting $1 million hypercars. Scratch that, $1 million+ hypercars. Was there some controversy about Diesel? Oh no, I only read about the headlines. I know there was some controversy between him and The Rock, where they don't like each other. I hear Lambos. I don't see a Regera, but I see a P1. Yeah, I heard that Vin Diesel had beef with The Rock, and it was kind of serious, which is why he didn't show up in he didn't show up again until Fast and Furious 10, where they managed to work something out. But I'm gonna lose this, aren't I? Which I can't believe Vin Diesel, The Rock, and Jason Statham had clauses in their contracts that specifically state that they cannot lose a fight. At least to any of them. So like, they could be defeated by the bad guys, but if they get into a fight with each other, it has to end in a draw. Which I honestly think that's kind of stupid, because people probably would want to see a real fight between all of them. But I digress. And excuse me if I'm ramming the AI like a scumbag. One of my friends that plays this, he is the dirtiest fucking racer ever. Like, I'm talking final corner, I was about to pass him for the win, and he fucking runs me into the wall. It's like, dude, really? Like, nobody else does that. All the others that I play with, we don't do that. Like, yeah, we'll block each other off, and we'll cut corners to try and get around each other, but we won't just run each other off the road. In fact, I straight up told my group, just run him off the road. And yeah, one of my other friends literally ran him into the ocean, and he couldn't keep up because we were all driving 400+ cars, and yeah, everyone had at least some decent level of talent, or their car was just that good. Oh! Jesus! I never said I was good at this game. Though I will confirm this, the 911 RSR is still broken. I did take it to an online race that had everybody driving 400+ cars, and I didn't race them. For me, it was a time trial. For them, they were questioning if I was a real creature or not. Was that black little Porsche just in my imagination. Oh yeah, and I think before I get off of this game, I'm also going to show what I mean by the 350Z engine braking the car without the speed limiter. But this Mustang handles pretty nicely, I like it. It's not the fastest thing on the planet, but it's pretty cool. I wish you could adjust the gear ratios, because this thing's 6th gear is so long. Makes you think maybe the 7th speed wouldn't have been a bad idea. Oh man, gotta love these straights. That was not enough to get me to heat level 4, I don't believe it. If only real life traffic was this intense, your friend is the main villain of the Cars movie. Your friend is a savage. You drive just as well as safely like my dad on a few drinks. No, just kidding. I don't. Oh, come on, man. That's sad. And I'm hope you're joking about that I don't have a dad part. Huh?
Someone lost our target. Get in there.
Wow, okay, so I hit the speed trap and get level 4. That's funny. And I was planning on streaming this a lot earlier, but the benchmark video that I had recorded, I trashed it, even though I actually did some editing on it too. Of course I'm joking on not having a dad. How else would I have been born? Hey, there's some people that straight up, well, you know, let's not go into that. We had enough problem with the lolicon issue. Let's not get into deep topics right now. Come on. Yeah, this thing in corners really well. Then again, it's probably because it's not, you know, a 300-mile-an-hour pocket missile. Something else I was gonna say. Shit. Oh yeah, right. Mario Kart. I know you guys. I know you guys also. I heard that you guys also want to see me do some Mario Kart every now and then, or sometime. I'm totally thinking about it. I've already beaten Double Dash, sadly, but I wouldn't mind going through that game again. But Mario Kart Wii, I actually put the disc on my Dolphin emulator. Well, I ripped the ISO is what I should have just said. And I would 100% be down for playing, say, Mario Kart Wii and trying to beat that game 100%. Because I've never beaten all the time trials because I was a scrubby little boy. And since I don't have a copy of... Since I don't have Mario Galaxy... Spy! Oh my god. What the shit? I'm only at heat level 4, what the hell? It's like, wow, one dude found me and they sent the literal whole squad. They sent the literal whole force after me. Oh my god. Oh my god, an actual proper roadblock. Oh yeah, they want me gone like yesterday. I don't know what kind of price is on my head, but they want me bad. This is no longer Need for Speed Heat, this is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Also, I find it weird that in Need for Speed High Stakes, the police helicopter is still here. The police helicopter is an unlockable vehicle you can drive in test drive mode, but it never appears in-game. But then in the PC version, you can never operate the police helicopter, but it does appear in-game. And if the police helicopter is on you, the police will always know where your vehicle is, unless you're in a tunnel. Game, I did not crash out. Give me a break. Oh no. I've still got this stupid helicopter on me. Oh, thank goodness. I could try to just go for screw it. It's a free part. Why not? Wait, no, that's lame. That's lame. I'm playing this live, not personally. Safety's only concern, personally. You guys had what again? No, money gotta go. I'm talking about from the previous stream. Past trials. Yeah, you're getting the attention of all the ladies too. Man, it's not the romantic attention. It's just want your head. Yeah, no, it's like playing a dating sim, but all the romantable waifus are evil, crazy, narcissistic assassins. Or yanderes that are the kill you kind. Yeah, also, I think I mentioned this on one of Smiley's streams as well. There is a game that I would consider playing for the channel, because I think it's actually kind of interesting. My issue with it is that it's an H game, an 18+ game, and as of yet, I have found no way to disable the nudity. I can disable the H scenes, I can disable the AI's ability to engage in them, including with the player, as in, they just straight up never ask you. But I have yet to find a way to make it where the nudity doesn't show up. If I could find a way to patch that one hole, then I would definitely play it. Because that game, in my personal opinion, has the best interpretation of yanderes I've ever seen. It portrays them like the literal monsters that they are. The mentally unchecked whatchamacallits. For one, if you were to ask one out, like, all light just leaves from their eyes, because it could be both male or female, and they say some creepy crap about how they'll always take care of you, or how they're gonna be the best spouse ever, or that they'll give you lots of love, or maybe they'll just straight up say, you don't want to break my heart. That would be the last thing you'd ever want to do. No, my favorite one is from one of the female personalities, which is just like, yeah. As far as I know, my side is at 18+. Me side is at 18+. Yeah, no, it's not me side. It's a different game. I'm gonna refrain from saying it. I think it's okay to have videos of it on YouTube, because there's one channel that used to upload a bunch of content about the game, and they never got banned. But I know on Twitch it's on the blacklist. It's one of the named games on Twitch's blacklist. Both it and its sequel. Well, both it and its predecessor, I should say. And the yanderes in that game, like my favorite one I said was where the girl she's like, you have horrible taste in women. Do not regret your decision. And they won't break up with you, ever. And you can't dump them. Normally when you try to break up with somebody, if they like you a lot, you'll have a very low percentage chance of succeeding. And they'll usually cry if you do pass with a low check. But if you pass with a high check, typically your ex-partner will be like, oh, good, you saved me the trouble of having to do it. And also, normal people, if their relationship gets too low with you, they'll just dump you. Like, sometimes they'll be like, hey, I don't think this relationship is working, let's break up. And other times they'll be like, Be like, well, this is the end of our relationship. I honestly cannot stand being around you anymore, and I would just prefer to go solo.
Maybe the chopper crew wanna play too.
Or they'll insult you on the way out.
It's absolutely necessary.
But they'll effectively dump you. With yanderes, if their relationship gets to the state where they want to break up with you, they'll kill you. And then they'll say some creepy stuff about like how you broke their heart, so they're taking your heart to replace it. Or how this is the only way they can stay with you forever, and they'll be joining you very soon. I mean, one of the personalities just straight up breaks the fourth wall and tells you that all of this is fake and all of this is pointless. This pain you feel is inconsequential to the pain in my heart. It's honestly kind of insane. And I know another reason the game is probably blacklisted is because you could bully people like, well, bully, just to not that graphic detail. And you can also coerce people into doing naughty activities. I am saying that in PC dialect for a reason. Aye! Holy hell.
Alright.
These guys really aren't giving up, I don't believe it. And last time it took a whole race for the helicopter to run out of fuel.
Yeah, no wonder I can't catch him when department regs require I keep this patrol car factory tuned.
My boy, I've seen police cars. I've seen what's under the hood. Those things ain't factory tuned. You just have skill issues. Like, anybody who's bought a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor or Dodge Charger Pursuit will be the first to tell you that ain't stock.
We're gonna have to call this off.
Literally all I need is one more race. Literally all I need is one more race. Beautiful thunder. Low Yandering Sim is also banned on Twitch. I know, that's funny. Next thing we need is Alex's Patreon down. Oh, that would be a dream. This is why demons are better. The relationship isn't working. Fuse them away. Totally the most healthy thing to do, of course. Like, yeah, cause, you know, everybody usually dumps Edun as soon as they get Konohana. And I mean, come on, we've seen the videos. Nobody likes the best girl A-Chef. Even though she's probably the best wife. I'm kidding, it's arguably Lilith in terms of personality. And by personality, I mean she's the least likely to kill you. But yeah, that's usually how it works. Like, once you break up with your demon in SMT, you just fuse them away. I mean, what's the worst that happens? They come back and kill you in the other world? They're Magetsuhi for your new bestie. Then again, considering in Nocturne, if you fuse away the pixie before she evolves into a high pixie, and then take her to that one door, that fusion will revert back to a pixie, and she'll become Super Pixie. So maybe they do retain memories. I gotta get out of this area quickly. And I'm golden. As long as I'm gone before they call, what's the term? Backup. Then I'm safe. And with this, I should be able to get into that Heat 5 race, which is probably going to be impossible because everyone's going to be driving $2 million plus hypercar, well, supercars with a $1 million plus supercars with a $2 million plus hypercar. Because I think if I might, the Regera is the only hypercar in this game. And to my knowledge, the AI does not drive the Ferrari FXXK. And to my knowledge, that's not a hypercar, that's a track machine. And yes. Man, this thing is so fast. I wonder how broken Need for Speed Heat would have been if it didn't have the speed limit of 240 miles an hour. Because that's the game's top speed, 240. No matter how you build your cars, they can't go that fast. And this mod, this mod that I'm running simply just unlocks that. It's not the Unite mod, it's a separate mod that's simply called Speed Limit Removal. I'll probably have to get links for all these mods and put them in the description when I'm done with Monster Hunter Wilds. Assuming I don't just fall asleep afterwards. And then tomorrow when I do Majin Tensei and Shin Megami Tensei, I'm going to do those streams separate. Mostly because, one, Majin Tensei is Super Famicom and Shin Megami Tensei is PlayStation. But also, I do want to keep those series separate, and you guys don't like VODs, so... Well, you guys don't like me re-uploading VODs, so... As a man of the people, I won't be re-uploading VODs. Oh god, I just barely got away from him. Oh god, a spike strip! The fact that the Unite mod makes it to where spike strips and Rhino units don't spawn on the map anymore is crazy. Actually, wait, and I think they also removed the warning text for when a Rhino unit spawns as well. You're truly left in the dark in that regard. You got unlimited speed in your car because a flat pad kick it over one wall crash. That's basically BeamNG in a nutshell, where you can make pancakes out of cars. But the only reason BeamNG is considered, I think, like, maybe 10 plus, is because it features graphic depictions of vehicles getting mutilated. And because people were funny enough to make test dummy mods, so you could see how crashes would affect humans, just without all the nastiness, of course. Yeah, you could get a pretty good feeling of how some crashes would just not work out. These guys are fast and that GT's a good driver. Did I outspeed the helicopter? I outsped the helicopter, but he's still after me. Wait, no, there he goes. Okay, once I win this race, I'm going back. Because for people who play this game who don't know, you can actually layer two parts on top of each other. If you get a part from a Heat Level 3 race, and then you get another part from a Heat Level 5 race, you get both parts. And the game will put duplicates into your stockpile, I should say. So there is no harm in repeating Heat 3 and Heat 5 races. Another thing is that for those who have played this game and have seen that the wanted system is going up much more slowly than in the vanilla game, yeah, that's part of the Unite mod. It requires more reputation to boost. It requires more rep to boost the heat meter. And cops, the reason why I've been fighting them is because they're much more durable in this mod too, to the point where outrunning them is the better game. And I do know there is a mod that returns the rubber banding. These cops are intelligent enough on their own, and fast enough on their own. I don't need them being literally on my tail the whole time. So I think I remember last time I played this, when they did have the rubber banding. Oh, thank God he U-turned. I had one cop in front of me, two cops beside me, and one cop behind me just ramming me consistently. And then when they pulled the kill switch out, that was the end of the race. Not the end of the race, that was the end of the night. I couldn't back out, I couldn't accelerate forward. They boxed me in like it was Need for Speed Most Wanted all over again. What's the cop? In Most Wanted was so intelligent. Like, I'm pretty sure they had to research real police tactics to get the cops in Most Wanted and Carbon, which Carbon's just a literal carbon copy, because you can't improve much on perfection. I'm pretty sure they had to research real cop tactics for that, because that felt way too authentic. And there we go, perfect night. I won absolutely every race and I feel happy about it. Now to get out of here before I get arrested by the police. Oh, come on, game!
Palm City's gonna look like hell in the morning, cause you just shredded it.
$600,000 from one night. Oh my god. And that cop actually caught me. If I was a frame later on pressing the get me out of here button, I would have probably cried.
Am I right? Torres must be even more of a hard ass than Mercer.
So I got something new apparently. Okay, so the parts that I got were an ultimate supercharger and two ultimate superchargers. Okay. I got a lot of spare superchargers, my goodness. Yeah, the Mustang looks nice. Honestly, you know, now I'm looking at it with the more vibrant color shading. Yeah, no. That blue looks really nice on it. Okay, how much time do I got left? Okay, I got a few minutes left. Okay, so let me show you the Pocket Rocket Porsche with the 350Z engine. It's gonna be funny, I promise. Actually, before I do that, the Regera, fully upgraded and everything. Literally, if I give it anything else, it... Really now? Interesting. I did not know that. This thing has a sport clutch? Wait. It's got one gear. It doesn't need another clutch. I'll show this off first. Then I'll show off the Porsche. I remember playing a lot of Need for Speed Underground in my days. My chest. The cops be like, "You're under arrest." Oh, wait, you're going to bed? Okay, sure. Sleep well, dude. See you tomorrow. Pretty much, by the skin of my teeth. Oh, this thing sounds mean with a supercharger. I know this thing is twin turbo by default, but that just sounds mean. It's just an EV, I promise. Alright, this thing's low end speed is so good now. It normally takes a while to get up to speed, but oh man. I think it's a little bit slower, but if it means I get to keep that low end boost, oh hell yeah. And they say Americans are the only ones that can do superchargers. And I mean, I got a counterclaim to that right there. The Mercedes E55 AMG Compressor. That thing is supercharged to the hilt! Or the SLR McLaren. Granted, those cars are known for never making corners. That's pretty much a Hellcat in a nutshell. Just looks better, it's slightly slow. Looks better, less power, way lighter. And a lot harder to steal. Jeez, indeed. Okay, Porsche time.
Good news. We got a new couch.
Actually, I could probably do a race with that thing. But let me switch to the Porsche really quick. Nah, custom. Oh yeah, this livery for the Porsche, I actually did this myself. I didn't download it from the repository. Same for the... let me see if it'll even show up. Same for this Blue Evo. I did this livery myself too. This was back when I had a lot more time to actually play video games. So, and the sad friend who ran me off the road, he made a livery for the Aston Martin DB11 convertible. That's basically the freaking Hyrulean symbol. There we go. Wait. Oh no, I'm running the Ford EcoBoost. Here we go. Wait a minute. No, wait, no, that's not the 370 motor. That's the Q60 motor. I said 370. I meant 350. Whoops. I mean, Nissan named the freaking... their freaking Queen V6 the same thing, so excuse me if I got it wrong. I mean, the Q60 and the 370's motor are literally just 0.1 displacement off. Also, sorry for having you McWatchington say MC name be Sonic. Oh no, man, it's cool. I don't mind it. Yo, do couch proud of you background NPC? Yeah, this thing's gonna make the Regera look slow. I'm tearing through gears faster than the Regera tore through rubber. Oh, Jesus. Ow. Oh, I haven't driven a Q60 before. I do own... you know, fine, I'll just say it. I do own a 370. And... yeah, it sounds like this just without the turbo whine. Oh! Oh God! Seizure warning! Not a scratch. Yeah, these things sound like this for real. Like that high RPM range is crazy. I think the Q60 and the GTR share a motor, but I could be wrong on that. But if they do, I sadly have not driven a GTR. I'm not sure if I'd ever buy one, to be honest. They're discontinuing it, but if I ever were to get one, I'd have to get the all-wheel drive model, and those still command $80,000+. I also wanted a V10 R8, but those are still worth at least $90K for a decent example. Oh, that... Oh my God, Mom, pull up, I'm about to throw up! This was the world before color. And yeah, I love this weather too. Now keep in mind, a lot of these weather presets are from... they're either touched up significantly from the original, or they're new. This one I think is in the touched up category. Like, look, I'm basically no effort passing these guys. The reason I don't keep the Q60 motor in the car is because, if I'm right, that's illegal. Like, by the game standards. I'm pretty sure the game's anti-cheat is somewhere between non and existent. But personally, I haven't come across any cheaters when playing this game online. And even then, all of my car's stats get nerfed when I play without the Unite mod. So I'm still playing on the same field as everybody else. It's just that I have an easier way of grinding without using a save editor. I don't think the brakes are strong enough to stop this thing. Man, it is so dark. It feels like nighttime. And the lights not working don't help much. Also, no lie, one time when I was going to work, I straight up saw, it wasn't a 911 RSR, but it was a 911 RS of the exact same generation as this one. I had to do a double take when I saw it on the road. Car was clean as hell. Then again, everyone seemed to be driving their sports cars the one day it stopped raining. It was actually pretty warm outside. Everybody was driving their Mustangs, their Camaros, this Porsche. And honestly, where I live, like, mostly everybody just drives Subarus. I mean, yeah, Subarus are all-wheel drive, so I can see the appeal since we do get snow every now and then. But, oh man, so many WRXs, from old to, like, Imprezas and WRXs. which I know Impreza WRX was a trim, but then they stripped the WRX name from Impreza and just turned it into a separate model. But there are so many of them that the cars basically are not unique anymore. Like where I used to live, I crashed into a wall and fell to pieces. Where I used to live, WRXs weren't that common. Well, they were common because they were cheap sports cars, low-end sports cars, but they weren't all that common. Like where I'm from, it was Hellcat, it was Scat Pack Chargers, Scat Pack Challengers. I'm pretty sure a lot of them were stolen, considering the only person that I know who drives a Hellcat always does the speed limit unless it's really late at night and he knows there's no cops around. He never does it in traffic. Well, these other ones, they would swim through traffic for fun, kind of like those idiots in New York with their BMW M's. Which probably explains why when I tried to buy a, I think it was like a F80 M4, I believe? A manual specifically. The automatic, the insurance was $300 more for the automatic than the manual. And even then, that fell through because because I saw the payment. It was going to be like $700 a month without the warranty. So I said, screw that. Give me the aux cord, I'm gonna put coconut ball! Please no, don't. All I'm hearing is yes, please. Oh man. I still need to find out how. I still need to make a playlist of music. If I can make a playlist of music, you can bet that next time I do a racing game of copyrighted music, I am doing Mario Kart soundtrack. Mario Kart Shin Megami Tensei. See how Demons, Humans, and fits into racing games. Okay, I got enough time for one more race. There's one track I know I go to that pays a lot. Is it this one? It's that one. I'm gonna switch out the Pocket Porsche for the Regera since I rarely ever race that. And then that'll be the final race of the stream. And I will be setting up for Monster Hunter Wilds. Which is probably gonna take me a few minutes considering it's already 4:50 something. Oh dear. Come on, game, I was right there. Hello? Kadishtu song, but it's just Toad set. Oh my god. The game respawned me. I was in a drivable area game, how dare you. Okay, maybe I wasn't in a drivable area, my goodness. Also, Need for Speed Payback, I know a lot of people give that game a lot of crap, and I honestly 100% agreed with them originally. But then I played the game with the Unite mod, and maybe the Unite mod might have changed some of the cringe-lordness of the game, but no. Like, for one, the cops are brutal in that game with the Unite mod. For two, my perspective of the characters changed. I no longer wanted the MCs to lose. I was actually rooting for them. Was it because I was racing with them? Kind of, but also because they didn't make me hate them. Like, I actually didn't feel hatred towards them. It felt like they were just people with a goal that they wanted to accomplish. And they got screwed over by one of their former mates. I honestly hate how Need for Speed was basically given a monopoly on these types of arcade racers. Did he die? Will he in car purgatory now? No, okay, so this is what it happened, looks like. Yeah, I know Tokyo Extreme Racer got a reboot, and people are saying that that game needed to exist so we could kick EA in the rear and possibly get them to give us something better with Need for Speed. Need for Speed did really have to compete. Theoretically speaking, they weren't fighting games like Gran Turismo and Forza, which were fighting each other. They were fighting the Project Gotham Racings. They were fighting the Test Drives. They were fighting stuff like... They were fighting Flat Out 1 and 2. And Flatout 2 is considered one of the best racing games ever made. Will I play Flatout 2 again on the channel? Yes. I originally had plans to do the arcade mode, not the arcade mode, the story mode, and then got really bored playing the story. So, yeah, next time I do Flatout 2, Ultimate Carnage, I can 100% promise you that it's going to be only arcade mode races and maybe some stunt trials. It will never be the campaign. Oh, and also because due to one of the mod menus that I have, I've been messing around with stuff to unlock all the cars and whatnot. So I effectively will have a zero difficulty experience with the arcade mode. Oh, not the arcade mode, the death. When you have a car that speeds, but you're on a track with corners. I'll be doing all arcade mode stuff, which I can still have a lot of fun with that. Like, when I pick it up, I stay on arcade mode for a while. I'll probably do the same with Wreckfest, though in that case, I have mods, not a mod menu. Stop! Damn it! I don't think the brakes are strong enough for this thing either. Will this be the first race, the first and only race that I lose this session? This thing is not good on technical tracks, my goodness. Can't believe I helped my friend grind so I could get, well, one of my friends grind so he could buy his car! Oh boy, all-wheel drive spin out! Literally lost traction on all four wheels because I pressed the nitrous button. Also, I love the sound the P1 makes when it's driven by the AI. Like, I just love the sound of the McLaren 12C and the P1 in general. They sound so nice. Like, their cross-playing V8s just don't even sound... They don't sound like Ferrari screamers. They don't sound like the growl of your regular cross-playing V8. They just have this unique ring to them that every game seems to mimic. And I absolutely love it. Is he on my inside? No, he's not. Ha! Like I'd lose to an NPC. Speaking of Test Drive, they made a new game recently. No, I heard it was terrible. Yeah, it was basically Test Drive Unlimited, but bad. And that's not good, because Test Drive Unlimited was free money. These days, those companies make simulators, and the indie studios make the retro racers. Yeah. You gotta put up some Outrun if you put it on the next playlist. Outrun, I'll see. Imagine an SMT racing game. That would... What would the lore be? Lucifer and God found a new way to take over everybody. So you gotta side with the Messiahs or the Gaian cult in a tournament to determine who will be the ultimate Messiah. Persona 4 Zoomies. Night Flight is the best Outrun song. Yeah, I'll have to check out the Outrun soundtrack. Okay. 5:01. I gotta get Monster Hunter World running. I gotta eat something, and I gotta give my eyes a small break. So I thank you all for watching me play Need for Speed. It still is pretty fun. I can't lie. I really do have fun playing this game every now and then. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm going off for a bit. When I come back, we'll be with Monster Hunter Wilds. It is blind. I have not done anything outside of making sure everything works and whatnot, which thankfully everything does work. I haven't touched character creation or anything. So, thank you guys for watching. Catch you in another 30 minutes or so. Igor has his car from P4 Vet. There's a boat and Vito's getting a piggyback ride for the Teddy. All right, guys. I'll see you in about half an hour.